asleep. Don't worry. She will come back out of it naturally. The second seance today.
No.
Marion? Marion?
No, it's not.
She is very upset.
He tried to kill me.
Right.
Is that Marion? Are you there?
She's back.
She's back.
The following day, some of the team are still shaken by the apparent events during the previous night's séance.
First and foremost, this is probably the most exciting séance we've ever had. I've seen some Maz go into some sort of characters before now. I've never seen anything like this one. This was something else. And you had that feeling there. You know, it was times that, you know, the energy sitting around you, it made your hair stand on end.
The story that I believe that he was trying to put over was the fact that he had been so accused of murdering somebody by punching them, and they'd been gone over the fly tower. Now, to me, that suggests that it couldn't have been an actor. It's actually somebody backstage, somebody who works backstage doing the rigging or whatever. And obviously, this guy died. It was either an accident or he wasn't even involved and just got totally accused of it.
How much of that were you aware of?
Not much at all. You'd need to speak to the others. I feel this was really my responsibility. We'd been hanging around all day, not really doing any work, i.e. spiritual work, and we weren't investigating. We were just hanging around basically all day. And, you know, I'd become sort of agitated by that. And so I knew that we were in a theatre. I'd felt on the walk round that there was a presence up there. So if you like, I was very naughty and I evoked that spirit. I asked that spirit to come into me, and that is exactly what happened. I didn't wait for the set circle protection. We didn't have a prayer. I just went straight for it. And we suffered the consequences.
But could it have been the group's beliefs at work, rather than the spirits?
Now, it's very interesting with at one point Maz appears in a state of possession, apparently, to be about to throw herself off the balcony, and all the others, naturally enough, try and stop her from doing that. Now, I mean, it's very interesting to ask the question, what would have happened if none of them had responded that way? Would she have actually done it? Now, I'll have to put my hands up here and say, you know, I don't actually know. It really does depend on the degree to which she was involved in the role that she was actually engaged in there. It may have been that she might have actually gone so far as that. I suspect she probably wouldn't, to be perfectly honest. I think there'd be some of the dramatic interruption. I mean, you know, there's all sorts of things that could have happened in that context. She might have just frozen, or she might have collapsed, or all sorts of things would have happened. But I don't think that she would have actually come to any harm. I mean, in these kind of situations, there are lots of kinds of unspoken rules. In the old days, when the original Victorian séances used to take place, it was claimed that if anyone attempted to touch the medium during the actual séance, then the medium would die. And in fact, needless to say, there are no cases on record where that actually happened. But yeah, I think we don't know how Maz would have actually reacted if she hadn't been stopped, but everybody was so involved in playing their roles in that situation that there was probably very little danger that that would actually take place.
With the investigation virtually over, researcher Susie is unable to unearth any evidence of a death from the fly tower. And despite 24-hour surveillance, the cameras also fail to capture any hard evidence.
Margate's Theatre Royal clearly enjoys a plethora of ghost stories, many of which are corroborated by witnesses still living today. But the ghost detectives found little scientific evidence this time. However, nothing can explain these extraordinary events.
Get down.
Stay down.
Remain
Sit
seated.
down.
We'll remove you.
Sit down.
He tried to kill me.
What about now? Anything?
When ghost hunting, not everything is as it seems.
There's 3 just gone. My God.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
That could be ghosts, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's disturbing.
She shut away. She shut away. Nobody's got.
Occasionally, it's inexplicable. One thing's for sure. Expect the unexpected when the ghost detectives are on the case. What better way to keep prying eyes away from crime than to distract attention with stories of sorcery, ghosts, and devil worship? Cornwall is full of such tales, where shipwreckers and smugglers use chilling stories to camouflage their deadly trade. Pengersic Castle near Penzance is typical. Here, 800 years ago, Henry Pengersic spun a tale of alchemy and devil worship to disguise his smuggling activities in the secret tunnels to the castle. But despite his fake phantoms and phony ghouls, Pengersic remains one of Britain's most haunted places. It's as if fantasy has become fact. So it's with some trepidation that the ghost detectives begin their search into Pengersic's past. Built in approximately 1500, Pengersic Castle was once a stronghold used to protect the Pengersic family and its treasures from marauders. Its 100-foot tower dominates the coastline and is where most of the paranormal activity is said to occur. In particular, the second-floor bedroom and its Jacobean bed have even the hardiest of ghost hunters spooked.
We've seen figures and lights of various kinds.
They've seen 2 women.
We saw a lady, we think she's a nursemaid, and she came out of the wall over there.
There are some very unpleasant things here. I won't say what. It's not a sort of what I call an ordinary haunting. It's probably 1 in 1,000 you come across a place quite as active as this. But it's not sort of, not all friendly.
Using high-tech filming and sensory equipment, the ghost detectives have just 4 days to prove whether or not Pengersic's ghosts exist once and for all.
I'm just going to try and put some minicams around the area so that we can start to get images of what might or might not be happening on the bed and in the corners of the room where there's been sightings of paranormal activity before.
And what sort of cameras are you putting in here?
Most of them are straightforward digital minicams, so they give us a signal back to the actual mixing desk downstairs. One of them is a black and white minicam that works with infrared light, so we can go in total blackout in the room and still get a lovely clear picture.
And why this room?
This room's got a tremendous amount of activity. It's been witnessed by dowsers, clairvoyants, even the people that live here. So there seems to be a lot going on in this room. There's 3 or 4 entities supposedly walking around this room. One lady